there's always this debate on which way to show it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ron Bateman. I'm a three-term former sheriff here in Anne Arundel County. I want to thank everyone for coming out today, especially our guest on this cold morning. We're here for my friend, Dr. Ron Elfenbein. Without further ado, I'd like to bring Dr. Elfenbein to the podium.
Thank you, Sheriff, and thank you, everybody, for coming. Thanks, everyone, for being here and for the interest in the story. I just want to give a quick update about my case and this whole situation. So I will be back facing a new trial this August, and we were just really trying to get someone in the Trump administration to understand what's going on and to really take interest in this case and hopefully try to intervene. So I just want to give everyone a quick update, and I want to bring the sheriff back out. So again, thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you. As I said, my name is Ron Bateman. I'm the former sheriff here in Anne Arundel County. I've been in law enforcement for 38 years. I was a three-term elected sheriff here, and prior to that, I retired from the Anne Arundel County Police Department as a captain. And I'm telling you this for a reason. In the police department, I served many years as a detective in the department's homicide unit. In order to secure a conviction in these cases, we had to gather and sift through testimonial evidence, physical evidence, documentary evidence in order to present to a jury or a judge. And the standard of proof in these cases is proof beyond a reasonable doubt. The same standard of proof that Dr. Ron Elfenbein faced when he was charged by the Department of Justice. I sat through Dr. Ron Elfenbein's entire trial and watched how the two government attorneys sitting at the prosecution table were flanked in the courtroom by an entourage of as many as 25 lawyers and law clerks who were in constant communication with the two primary lawyers for the government. It is important to know that I consider Dr. Ron a friend, but I did not attend the trial with a predetermined mindset that he was not guilty. Absolutely not. If he was guilty, in my mind, he'd have to face the consequences. Period. End of story. I call that accountability for your own actions. So I listened intently to the evidence for 2 weeks, just as Chief Judge James Bedard did, and I weighed the testimony of witnesses from both sides. I kept waiting for a bombshell, some key piece of evidence that would sum up his guilt, but there was none. By the end, I was convinced Dr. Ron Elfenbein would be found not guilty. The evidence was just not there. The scales of justice were not tipped. When the guilty verdict came down, I was shocked. I left the courthouse that day disappointed in our criminal justice system, a system I believed in. Then, on November 21st, 2023, something happened that I have never seen in my nearly 4 decades as a law enforcement officer. Judge Bedard reversed the jury's decision and acquitted Dr. Ron of all charges. In a scathing 90-page opinion, the judge systematically dismantled the government's diabolical conspiracy theory of Dr. Ron's evil intent to embezzle money from the government. In fact, on page 85 of the opinion, Judge Bedard writes, quote, "The government's lead witness and expert was utterly impeached," end of quote. So here we are, nearly 4 years after Dr. Ron was officially charged by the Department of Justice. Now the government is faced with spending millions of more dollars and hundreds of hours preparing for a new case that they've already lost. There's no reason to put this man and his family through this once more. He is not a thief. Rather, he's a man, and still is, dedicated to helping the sick, a man with no criminal intent. Let me leave you with these words. It's with a heavy heart that I must say that I'm ashamed that the very government that I entrusted my entire adult life to committed an unforgivable reputational slaughter of an innocent man's life, whose only desire was to do the right thing for our community and our country. I implore President Donald Trump and the DOJ to put this nightmare to rest, and don't let it resurrect its ugly head once more. Let's discard of this travesty once and for all. President Don, let's free Dr. Ron. Now I'd like to bring up Congressional candidate for the 3rd District, my friend, Mr. John White.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thanks, everybody, for coming out today. I'm just going to be real quick and make it brief. My name is John White. I'm running for Congress from Maryland's 3rd District. and the reason that I'm running is because of Dr. Ron's case. Ron and Heather have been personal friends of mine, but like the sheriff, I watched the Biden administration systematically use lawless prosecution to attack a man. And I believe that they did so while he was in vindication because he was exercising his First Amendment right. When the current Justice Department takes a look at this case, I believe they're going to see that Dr. Elfenbein was a regular guest on national television, CBS, Fox, News Nation, etc., giving on-the-ground updates and reports about COVID and the work that he was doing saving lives. Unfortunately, when the strategy, the sole strategy of the Biden administration became only to get everyone vaccinated, including children, and not to look at the life-saving benefits of monoclonal antibodies that Dr. Ron was wonderfully bringing out, he went on national television and said that they should incorporate the use of this monoclonal antibodies, and that directly challenged the Biden administration's strategy. Please keep an open mind, look at this, not only look at what I call the Bible. This is Judge James Berdara, the chief judge for federal court in Baltimore at the time, who agrees that this case never should have been brought, that Dr. Elfenbein is actually a hero to our community. And please call your local representative and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and ask them to independently review the lawlessness of the Biden administration in this prosecution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. White. It's my pleasure now to call to the podium Mrs. Kristen Porter.
Good morning. I would like to take a minute just to talk about the character of the family. I've known Ron and Heather for over 10 years. Their son played hockey with my son, and I will tell you, I can't think of a nicer family. Dr. Ron was there for everybody. Whether you had a cough or a broken leg or whatever, he would run out on the ice and help the other team members. Everybody wanted his son to be on their team so that we had Dr. Ron. He looks out for everybody. He has the purest heart. And to watch what he has been going through and what his family has been going through is horrific. It's nothing short of horrific. I've always taught my children that life is not fair, but this is such an extreme example. He's already been through it once, and here we are again. There has got to be some justice in the world. During COVID, he even upped his kindness. He was already kind before that and already helped people before that, but to watch what he did and throughout the entire process, supporting everybody, helping us make decisions on how to handle it, no matter what side we were on, he was there for us all. And it's time for us to be there for him now.
That's right.
So please help however you can. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Porter. Appreciate that. Now I want to call to the podium Rabbi Light.
Good morning, everybody. I've known Dr. Ron and Dr. Heather and family for over 2 decades now. And I'm sure they're very, very appreciative of everybody being here today, so thank you. We are here today because our country was founded on justice, like it says in the Torah. Tzedek, Turdov, justice shall you pursue. So we're here today as we pray and hope and we do anything we can to make sure that justice is for everybody. As the ultimate judge is obviously the God, and therefore I would like to say together the Shema and pray together now, and let's hope and pray that this case will be dropped. Please say it with me together. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Thank you, Rabbi. Yeah. Robbie, appreciate it. Next call, Governor Bob Ehrlich, for the governor of the state of Maryland here. He's going to join us by video, and we'll hear his words.
My name is Robert L. Ehrlich, Jr. I was a member of the Maryland Legislature, the United States Congress, and Governor of Maryland. I've been a real lawyer for a lot of years, so the intricacies of the law here, the coding issues with regard to Medicaid, Medicare, and all that are pretty intricate in this case, but I know it from 30,000 feet, but most importantly, I know Ron. I know Dr. Ron. I know friend Ron. I know him as a physician. I know him as a friend. I know him as a political candidate. I've known him for well over 20 years, and I consider him a quite good, close, personal friend. Dr. Ron, when I think of him, and I'm asked to speak about a lot of people in politics, I still do a lot of events, fundraisers, and the like. I tend to begin my speeches with what comes to mind first. And when I think of Dr. Ron, I think about the family. It's giving, it's a big heart, it's sort of what you expect an old-time doctor to be. Someone who is not preoccupied with dollars and cents, but preoccupied with health outcomes. Not only that, as someone who's been in politics and around politics for a lot of years, he's also been, quite frankly, an informal advisor to me, if you will, especially me and my wife when we have issues with regard to health care, policy issues. We run it by him. We've met for coffee, God knows how many times over the years, to discuss not just politics but issues. He's a very engaged member of the community. He's a good man. He's a terrific family man. In fact, we joke, I don't know how many events I did for him when he was a candidate. He came awful close to winning a seat in the Maryland Legislature a number of times, and between me and my wife, we probably did 5 events for him over the years. I was governor of Maryland at one time, and we took crime and punishment and issues with regard to collateral consequences and pardons and commutations very seriously. I believe in the criminal justice system. I believe in a sense of justice and fairness. My wife has been in and out of the criminal justice system for many years. She was First Lady of Maryland. She's been a private attorney, but she's also been a drug court prosecutor, a regular prosecutor, and a public defender. So if you're asking anyone with the last name Ehrlich, we've had a lot of experience in this business. And when you look at the criminal justice system, you think of your denominator, at least it should be in my mind, justice. It's all about justice. And given the facts as I know them in this case, but more importantly, with regard to my opinion, knowing him, knowing Dr. Ron, knowing his family, knowing his history, knowing his essential goodness as a human being, I would hope whatever extraordinary remedy is available in this case will come about. We know Doc to be an essential member of this community, a giving person, a great guy, just a wonderful person. And you hate to see injustices done to good people.
But I want to urge everyone, as Mr. White has said earlier, to make sure you contact your local congressman, your senator, your delegates, and urge them to take a really close look at this case. This is a big deal. This man does not deserve to go through what he went through already, and now with this unprecedented ruling by Judge James Berdar, we don't want this reversal to turn into another trial.
Yeah. So Dr. Ron, during the COVID years, we saw this narrative that healthcare professionals are the heroes of COVID, that they could do no wrong. Do you find it ironic that the Biden administration actually targeted a healthcare professional?
Irony is not the word I would use to describe that, but yes, it's very ironic, yes. With 100% certainty, it is ironic, but I would go beyond that because I am very angry about the situation, and obviously so is Chief Judge James Berdar. But yes, we were lauded as heroes, and we got free coffee and everything going everywhere, and everybody was thankful, and then all of a sudden, they turned around, and I got a personal citation from our governor at the time. I got a personal citation from our state legislature during COVID. The State Medical Society named me its Person of the Year, even after I got indicted. And I got an indictment from the Biden administration. that was my thank you for what I did during COVID. So yes, irony is a word, but I would probably go a little stronger than that. But yeah, yes, very ironic.
And then as Mr. White pointed out, you were kind of on the front lines throughout the whole thing. I saw you on CBS, I saw you all over these national news networks. And then one day you started questioning, why aren't we testing people for natural immunity? Why are we giving people who are predisposed to adverse reactions the vaccine? And you were questioning the Biden administration's blocking of monoclonal antibodies. What kind of effect do you feel that has on doctors who are going to tell the truth in the future? And what happened to the narrative of trust the science?
Yeah, so the second part of your question is a great question. What happened to trust the science? That's the key question. First part of your question, yes, it will have a very chilling effect. Next time there is a pandemic, which of course there will be another one, why would any doctor step up to help out if this is what happens to you when you step up to help out? So yes, I think that will have a very chilling effect on good people who want to do the right thing when the government comes after you with baseless nonsense.
And then one more for you and Sheriff Bateman. Do you find it strange, actually, that the Trump administration, they haven't really pursued any charges against those involved in policymaking or, the whole COVID response disaster, but they're continuing this weaponization against Dr. Ron?
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I don't think the Trump administration has looked at it yet. But to your point, I will say that it's very interesting that the Biden administration chose to come after me, and they had the Epstein files for the last 4 years, and they never made any of it public, nor did they come after any of these people who committed horrific crimes against children. Yet they spent their resources coming after me, which even the federal judge said was a bunch of nonsense. So I find it very interesting. I just think the Trump administration isn't aware of what's going on. So I think that's the purpose of what we're doing, is trying to make them aware.
Right. And it's your understanding that the Trump administration can just drop these charges. The DOJ doesn't need to pursue the new trial against you.
Correct. And I mean, they got to ask themselves, is this a good use of taxpayer dollars? It's certainly not in the interest of justice, but beyond that, is it a good use of taxpayer dollars? And I would argue no, of course. Do you want to answer, Sheriff?
No, he said it all.
Thank you very much. And thanks again, everybody, for coming and for being here and for listening and for taking some interest in the story. I really appreciate it, and God bless the United States. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
We need Don to save Ron.
Please tell Don to save Ron.
Tell Don to free Ron.
Don, please save Ron.
Tell Don to save Ron.
Tell Don to save Ron.
Tell Don to save Ron.
Don, save Ron.